Like guns of fall. Did anyone hear you call as you drove your Volvo into a canal? Oh, this is it. I love you, but I've nowhere else to go. I'm a depressio. I'm a depressio.
Hello, welcome to the Utopia Podcast. We've got a bit of a special one for you today because Jimmy May, my original co-host, is away on family responsibilities. Love goes out to Jim, by the way, if you're watching this, because he said he would. Hope you're all good, brother. I know you are because I've been talking to you, but just thought it'd be a nice message to say, yeah, he's going through some family stuff, but I don't want to say that out loud just in case, you know what I mean? But we have my lovely co-host and we're hired out of the studio. We're in this lovely studio. Chunky T, how you doing, Chunky?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. This is kind of a impromptu, weird one.
Just when you thought you couldn't get rid of me.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So we had you on last week.
Yeah, and then I said, come to my house now, you live here.
Yes, absolutely. And we've got an absolute setup in here. I love what we've done to the place.
Yeah.
I wanted to fill it up mainly with Jim's stuff. And I think what's behind me?
There's a picture of you.
A picture of me, but yeah, you can't really see that. We've got pot noodle.
Pot noodle.
Yeah, and I'll let you guess what that is top right. But did you see it? Can you have a guess what that is top right?
What, above me?
Yeah.
Is it the sacred one?
Yes, it's actually Jim May's face on Kim Jong.
Is it? Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Zoom in if you want to see it. I don't know if you can actually. I don't know. We just get the pot noodle in yours, don't we? Right, wicked. Yeah. Mate, I wanted...
What a week.
Yeah, what a week it's been. It's been a crazy week. Donald Trump is the new president.
Yeah.
Which, did you think he would win, genuinely?
When they tried to kill him...
You think that was the turning point?
I think that was when everyone was like, he's indestructible. He's fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And when he's giving it all the fucking bit of that.
Yeah. It's almost like he knew what he was going to do.
Yeah. There's a lot of fucking conspiracy shit in there.
There is, yeah.
Did he set it up? And you know what? I used to be well down that route of like, it's a full conspiracy, like there's people here doing this and you don't know what's going on. But now I'm more of the belief of like, things are just quite simple.
Yeah.
And we can't handle them just being simple. That it was like just a knobhead that tried to shoot someone else.
Yeah. Well, there's some weird stuff around him as well. That guy who shot him, like, there's been no news. A week later, his dad was at Costco just buying stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
a normal shop.
Still got shopping to do.
His shopping cart was full, though. Full of stuff. And somebody ran...
Well, that's the weird bit.
Somebody ran up to him with a camera and said, "You got any questions about like what your son did? Like he tried to kill the president. Also, somebody got shot." And what did he say? What did the dad say? He said, "I need to go to the toilet or something." Something proper weird. You can Google it, but it's just all a bit odd. And then Joe Rogan
think the weird thing is that he's got a full shop trolley. Like, if he just had a few bits, it would be a few bits.
But he's got his trolley was full to the brim, mate. Like he's got, I don't know, some money or something. I don't know. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. Well, I try not to be, but then I look into it. I'm like, oh god. But you just never know, do you? I think with the election as well. I think this proves it even more that it's not kind of rigged that Trump got in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I felt like
I watched most of the BBC coverage of like the full like stars and stripes. Let's have a look at what states.
Was you?
I was well in.
Yeah,
didn't really understand it, but I was like,
no,
cool. Like, you've got to get 270 points at something.
Then you got the popular vote or something, which he nailed.
There's the House and the Senate, and I'm just like, okay, so
like Star Wars.
So
shit.
Who wins? But like, there was all like when Trump's shit first started coming in, everyone on the BBC is just there going, right, Trump's got these states, but like this is early doors.
Because it's all blue at the start.
Don't worry.
It's all red, at the start, wasn't it? And I was like, oh my God. But then I had to get in the mindset of like, okay, what was it like? I got like a history page up of how, like, what states are blue and red.
Yeah.
Normally. And it was just like, oh, they're already red anyway.
Yeah. So there's like the swing states, and then some states are worth more points Because it's typical America of like, let's make this into some sort of game show.
Jesus.
As opposed to just being like, everybody vote and then we'll decide. But yeah, there was there going like, oh, it's early doors. Like, you know, Harris might do it. Like, it's only a few states, whatever. Like, we were expecting to see this. And then even the BBC clearly was like kind of rooting for Harris. And then by the end of it, they're like, yeah, Trump's winning. And it was it was the same tone as the Queen's funeral on the BBC.
Yeah, the
of
Queen's
them being
funeral's a
like,
weird one,
oh, well, that's the election done. And then, yeah. No,
I think people were way more relieved this time round that it was just over. And I looked at some stats, right? Apparently when he run last time, there was... Back in 2020, when he lost, I think there was something like 12 million less votes in general. Actually, that's back in 2016 when we just got... No, 2020, sorry. Actually, yeah, when we got through COVID. And overall, there's like, I want to say around 12 to 14 million less votes in total.
Yeah.
So that is a large number of people that just...
Couldn't be asked.
Well,
I heard on the radio today that there was people saying about how... like interviewing Americans about it and saying some of them were like pro-Trump, some of them were pro-Harris, and then others were just going like, Trump's been a fucking nightmare and who's Harris? So I'm not bothering.
The thing that I look at Trump and Harris, right? I can figure Trump out, especially now we jumped on some podcasts.
How?
Right, because I could figure him out. Camilla, I just felt was more of the same. Again, I don't know any of their policies.
The thing is with that, like people say that, but surely Trump is the same because he's done it.
But I felt like personally I could figure him out more because he was on like, I watched like 4 podcasts where there was like 2 to 3 hour conversations with him and I could figure him out. I'm not saying that's a good thing because my conclusion was he just is a bumbling idiot businessman.
Now he's in charge of the biggest country
for
in the
another
world.
4 years.
Yeah,
which is just insanity.
It's America's a sequel. I've said if you could go back in 10 years, go back 10 years ago and pitch a Will Ferrell film where Will Ferrell is Donald Trump, and then you've got what's his name, old matey, the curly-headed fuck from Step Brothers with him.
Oh, what's his name? Yeah, I know you're on about though. And he's like some other president or whatever. Yeah.
And it's the whole of the last 8 years has been a Will Ferrell film.
It really has. Yeah.
And people go, that's hilarious because that would never happen.
And
then we're like, hello.
Yeah, he's back, baby. Yeah, I think, like I said, I couldn't figure out Camilla out. I think she was on one podcast. And I couldn't put my finger on like.
I don't think any of them the Democrats in it. I don't think any of them knew what the fuck their plan was.
No.
Once Biden obviously malfunctioned, didn't he? Biden.
Yeah, he left. And by the way, who was running the country while he was gone?
It's still him. That
in the background.
It's fucking madness, mate. So like, Biden's still president. And he's still technically in charge, but he's gone, look, I'm fucking Raj, mate. I'm off.
Yeah.
But I'll do my bit, but you go and be like in the election. And then Trump's like, oh, by the way, I'm a criminal. I've been in court. I'm like convicted. Might have to be a president from prison, but fuck it, I'll do it anyway.
Just wild.
In America, if you're a criminal, you can't vote, but you can be president.
Nothing makes sense, man. Nothing makes sense.
In that election, Trump couldn't vote.
Yeah, no, I didn't think about that.
He couldn't go and go, right, I'm casting my vote for me.
That's wild.
He's a criminal. And he could essentially, I think because it's still going on.
His vote wouldn't have mattered anyway. His one vote wouldn't matter because he won it by absolute margin.
Yeah.
So,
but it's close in American...
Yes, like, true.
In the scale of things, but it's like 5 million, isn't it?
The thing is, I sat there and I was like, we were talking about this, weren't we? I was like, nothing's going to change, it is what it is. And then, you know, so when he got in, I see people just like freaking, especially on Twitter, like a lot of left-wing people were just freaking out, just like crying. And there are some stuff around trans, like I don't know. Again, I'm talking shit because I need to really look at his policies.
Yeah.
like trans people and stuff like that may have like a really bad time because of
the abortion thing.
The abortion thing bringing in is another big one. So then I was like, maybe I don't know if this is a good idea. But how many of those laws are actually going to get put in place?
Mate, again, American politics, at least, I mean, I don't really like the UK politics, but like...
Who's our current Prime Minister? It's Keir Starmer, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm living in England by more...
Free Gear Keir, they're all calling him.
Free Gear Keir?
Yeah, because he's got loads of free stuff for being Prime Minister. Did you not see about that? Like, it was a big revelation that Prime Ministers get invited to football matches. And
then they'll hook all the mates up.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, he's had like £40,000 worth of like free clothes from this company. It's like, because that's what happens. He's essentially a celebrity. Like, that's what happens. And they're like, oh my God, get rid of him. He's a naughty one. And I'm like, have you seen the state of the rest of everything over the last 20 years? Yeah,
they're all the same in my eyes. It's just like, it just goes to show to me in a nutshell, when people ask me, like, pardon me, it divides people as well. But when people ask me, I'm like, look, the system needs to change.
100%.
Like because why we got a choice when it was Biden between someone who's like senile and not with it, and also Donald Trump, who is...
A lunatic.
Lunatic.
Yeah. I mean, he's entertaining. It's like when fucking Boris got in. Because like Boris was all fun and games when he was just London mayor and he had to just cut some fucking ribbons to open the corner shops and stuff like that. But when he became Prime Minister, it was like, mate, this isn't the vibe anymore. We can't have a meme in charge of countries.
No. The thing is, I don't think I should be allowed to vote because I will vote on the meme.
Yeah. I think that's why Boris got in.
This is going to probably get me in trouble, but like, gun to my head, if you had to ask me to choose between one of them, Camilla Harris or Donald Trump, gun to my head, I'm choosing Donald Trump.
Yeah. But let's
don't matter anyway. Plus, I could figure him out a lot more than I could figure her out.
At least we get some more memes.
So I don't think, I'm putting it out there, I don't think I should be allowed to vote.
I think there's a lot of like call for that. Like, not just you specifically, but people who don't really know the shit.
No.
I mean, I don't really. I know enough to get by and enough to kind of like look at bullet points and make some form of educated decision. But even then, I'm like, I'm kind of blagging that I've looked at it.
I gave my vote to Leanne. Whatever she voted for, I was like, because I don't know. When we all voted for the latest election, I don't know. Like, I don't, and I default to like, don't really matter. Like, so system needs to change, else.
I think it's so fucking bizarre how it works and it doesn't work because I can't think of another option. I think it was Jack on our show was saying that like it should be like jury duty.
Have you done jury duty?
No,
I have recently as well. Like 7 months.
I really
ago,
want to. I want to get a big juicy case.
I did it because I could have like said, I've got my own business, I can't really make it, this, that, and the other. But part of me was like,
are you allowed to though? I thought you have to do it.
I think you need a proper good excuse. But in the end, I couldn't be asked to go through all like the excuses or whatever. So I did my jury duty, didn't get put on a case. I was in the room. You get like, I was basically in a nutshell, waited round for like a week. Every day I went there for like at least 3 hours a day, waited around, never got called until I did get called in. And then when I did, they choose like 12 out of the 14 that go in, and my name never got drew out the hat.
They just got paid to wait around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I ended up going back, and then they called me saying we don't need you. So I was like, I would have liked to have been involved on a case.
Yeah, I want like a proper horrible murder.
Yeah, but what if you knew the murderer?
Well,
you get taken out. You do.
My old man, my dad, he got called up when he was younger, and he got called for the cases, but then told that he wasn't allowed to be in it because he knew the defendants.
Yeah, if you know the defender or someone in the case, you just can't because you'll be swayed or whatever. I don't know. But
I want to be the guy that stands up and goes, "We, the jury, find the defendant." Oh, and then like turn it into X Factor.
Would you? Yeah. You get your phone out, start playing like dramatic music. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
You get all the defendants to go like that. Like, call, vote for me.
That's just how entertaining it is, isn't it? This is why we shouldn't be allowed to vote in elections, because I think I'd just meme it about and just be like, hey.
Well, the one plus side, when I found out that Trump won, there's a part of me that like sort of the last molecule of me that's the left wing punk rock, like fight for our right. Once that had died, I was like, gonna get some fucking load of content for this, like in the podcast, in the fucking everything. Like the next 4 years are gonna be a ride, or we're gonna get nuked. And I think, well, sweet release, isn't it?
I think there was this feeling again. I watch Channel 5, Andrew Callahan on YouTube. I don't know if you know that guy.
No.
He's like an independent journalist because we all know pretty much journalism is dead now. But he's like one of the, like, he's an American YouTuber who literally goes to these places and just tells you how it is and just interviews with people. He's got no bias really. He just lets you decide.
Wants
and he also makes
people.
it a bit funny as well.
Yeah.
He used to start off really funny.
Right.
Like in his edits, he used to take the piss out of people a lot. But now he's gone, okay, I want to report like actual news whilst keeping a hint of funny. He's really good. You should check him out.
Yeah.
Channel 5, Andrew Callahan, if you want.
Well, like terrestrial Channel 5.
Weird that they called it. They had to change the name because it was called All Gas No Brakes back in the day.
Right.
And they had to change the name and they wanted
Doesn't
to
scream political
Exactly.
like, journalism.
So
does
that's
it?
why they kind of, he gets suited up, but he doesn't look like a suit at all. And sometimes he's massively into his rap as well. And somehow he just he finds these people in America where they just start freestyling on the camera and he just puts it on there, just like, hey, just throw some of that there.
That's
in there
one
as
thing
well.
I've always wanted to do, but I don't know if I've got the bollocks to do it. Is that, what is it? Vox Pops? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, Jim.
Like go on the street and be like, hey, what do you reckon about this?
I would. I don't mind going up to people randomly and saying that. I wouldn't be obnoxious. Not like Bevo. Have you ever seen Bevo?
He's the bloke with the teeth, isn't he?
Yeah, just eat stuff. Google Bevo if anybody's listening.
He's
Like,
horrible.
what the hell are they talking about?
He's horrible.
Yeah,
he's got all the teeth I'm missing, and he wastes his skill, as far as I'm concerned.
He went around Vox Popping. The reason why we brought that up is because he just like, he went around just bothering people. This is the way I wouldn't want to do it. It's like, do you think TikTok's a real job? And shoves it in the face because he's a TikToker. And most of them said, not really. He goes, well, no, I make 20 grand a month. And they're like, cool. They're like, hey, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
It fucking frustrates me, that shit.
Yeah.
That, like,
He's just bothered
you're the
about,
same.
like,
You kind of, we put effort into a podcast and clips and content, and there's a thought process behind it. And then that cunt goes on telly, goes on TikTok and just eats his tea, and it's like 27 million.
The thing is, I don't know, because anybody could be a celebrity these days, but I don't know if that has longevity. That's the problem. And plus, like, I think about stuff morally now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, morally, yeah, you get in your bag, but like, also, I would feel bad getting that. It depends how you get in that money. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think there's a shelf life for proper big celebrities now? So your Robbie Williams, etc. I know he's not massive now, but he's still kind of coasting.
You're talking about Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. When you think about celebrities, like big star
people
status.
who are just bastions, and their career's just been.
I think celebrity status, mate, now it's just changed.
Do you think it's more of a flash in the pan?
Flashing, because anybody can be, and plus anybody can be a celebrity, and plus content now is so quick.
Yeah.
So like, this is why you're seeing the rise of like TikTok and TikTok stars, because content now, because our consciousness and our concentration as like a society has just gone down the pan. I know mine has.
Yeah.
And I still have to like,
you have to check yourself.
I have to check myself, yeah. But I don't think a lot of people check themselves. That's why you get your Bevos where they're not checking themselves. They don't really have friends that do check them as well, because that's important. Friends around you that will tell you the truth is mad important.
Yeah. And
I don't think a lot of these like big stars, they're working on hype and just, I don't know. I wonder what they're going to be like. It's like one of those slow burner things where you'd have to see what happens. I don't think the longevity, I think the shelf life of a celebrity now is, unless you're a big movie TV star, traditionally, I think you're a flash in the pan. We'll forget about Bevo in the next 5 years.
But I think even like big celebrity stars, like in film and TV, I don't know if it's sustainable, because I think a lot of them, they come in, they get these deals, and then it's film, and then it's like Jenna Ortega, is it? Who's Wednesday?
Who's that?
Wednesday Addams.
In
Wednesday.
The Addams Family kind of spin-off Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is it the main girl from that?
So she's ended up, one, typecast, and two, just film series.
Hey, if I was a celebrity, I'll be typecast for sure.
Yeah. What would be your go-to?
I can't. I spoke to this about my mate Softy. Like, if we was I would love to do acting, man, love to. But the problem is, I couldn't do serious roles where it's like love scenes or being the hero. I'd want to be the villain.
Yeah,
and
I think
weird and comedies.
Yeah,
which comedies are just kind of flat on their ass now. But Deadpool was great though. Talking about comedies,
yes,
watched that twice.
What in the cinema?
No, when it came out. No, when it came out. I got it. I got hold of it and I watched it. We'll just say that.
Yeah, you wouldn't steal a film. you wouldn't steal a car.
What's the fucking hell. You can literally print a car now, can't you? That's the funny thing about that advert. It's like, you wouldn't steal a car or download a car. You pretty much can if you really like. You can
get yourself
fully
a 3D printer, mate.
Yeah, it'll take you a while.
Yeah,
but you'll probably get all the
print
parts.
yourself no friends though.
No, I wish. Yeah, I'd print myself loads. Bless him. I wanted to interject with a sponsor, mate, if I could, because I know you guys like sponsors and stuff like that, and I've actually got.
It's your show, mate. You just in our house.
Thank you. Cheers. So I actually got like a sponsor. And today's sponsor is Chunky's Chunks.
Yeah.
And to tell us what that sponsor is, it's Chunk.
Oh, God.
Take it away, Chunk.
I don't do this on our show.
Have a bit of that, mate.
I just take the piss out of the people who can't do it.
Chunky's Chunks.
Have you ever been in the mood for some pick and mix? Well, grab your fucking little shovel things for the sweeties, because I'm releasing Chunky's Chunks. And what they are is little bits of chocolate, but in every, I don't know, it's around 20 to 30 lumps. It's just a little bit of my poo wrapped in chocolate.
Oh, shit. There you
just
go.
Like
Chunky's
roulette.
Chunks. Like Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Did your poop taste nice?
I've never tried it myself. It tastes nice going in, not the poo. The food tastes good.
That's how you'd be a celebrity, mate, by eating your own poo. I think it's going to get to the point where people are going to have to ramp up and do that shit.
Mate, I watch a show. Well, I don't watch a show. My little one watches a show called Blippi. Have you ever heard of Blippi?
God, no.
It used to be a YouTube thing, and now it's like been picked up by Netflix and all that sort of shit. Right? It's just he's just a bit annoying, really. Is his general vibe.
Okay.
But he's a TV show host or whatever for children. And what he got well known for before he did Blippi was, remember Harlem Shake?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the one where there's a bloke stood on a toilet and he shits on his friend? That's Blippi.
Wait, he actually shit on his friend?
Yeah, so
and
there's
now
the Harlem, you remember Harlem Shake?
Yep.
The
produced by Bauer, by the way.
Yeah. So it's do, and they're just chilling in there. And then when it do the Harlem Shake, he's still on the toilet backwards. His mate's naked with his legs over him, and he just shits on him. Like full, like fire hydrant shit.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, now I'm going to go teach the kids how to behave.
Yeah, produce a kids show. Do a lot of people know this about him?
I think it's quite commonly known.
Jesus. You can really do anything you put your mind to now. It doesn't matter about, like, that probably went in his favour as well. Jesus Christ, he's shot on. What?
He's got a big old fucking TV deal now. He's hired 2 more Blippies. I don't know if they've done shit related incidents, but
he's hired 2. Oh my God. Jesus.
So he's got like impersonators that's like, there's one Blippy that does the live shows, one Blippy that does like the Netflix shows, and one Blippy that does the. So
how did you come to this revelation? Was you watching it? You were like, hang about.
I remember him from one of the wanks I had. I don't really know how it came about. I think I just told someone and I was like, he's been watching this fucking Blippy shit. This bloke does my head in. And again, someone else went, did you know? He shat on his mate.
Oh my God. Most people now are deviants.
Yeah. Well,
like
everyone is. They're all diddies, aren't they?
They're all diddies.
They're all at diddy parties.
I can't wait for P. Diddy's documentaries come out, made by 50 Cent.
And he hates him, doesn't he? He had it ready, locked and loaded.
Is it called Did He Do It?
Yeah. As far as I'm aware.
The clips I've seen of 50 Cent is actually quite hilarious. I think he's got such like a good sense of humour. And yeah, I've
not really seen much of him, to be fair. Last I saw of him, his head was swelling on the Super Bowl. Did you see that?
No.
When Dre performed at the Super Bowl.
No.
And he was still, because obviously, so Dre performs and there's all these...
Drake, another weird kind of deviant.
Yeah. So there's all Eminem's there, 50 Cent's there, Snoop Dogg and all that. And 50 Cent's trying to recreate the is it in the club video where he's upside down on the pull-up bar?
Oh my God, I've seen this.
Yeah,
I know I have.
He tried to do it at the Super Bowl, and obviously he's knocking on a bit now. So all you saw was all the veins coming out of his head while he's like, "You'll find me in the club."
Did he really pass out?
Yeah.
I seem to vaguely remember something like that.
Phenomenal show.
Are you on about the Super Bowl show, right?
Yeah.
The halftime Super Bowl shows are sick, to be fair. I'm trying to think of like...
Even Coldplay impressed me once with that.
Mate, yeah. Like, he's a bit of a weird character, isn't he? Old mate from... What's his name?
Chris Martin.
Coldplay, Chris Martin.
Yeah.
Who named his daughters Apple and Pear or some stuff.
He's best friends with Beyonce and Jay-Z, who are also known now to be going to the Diddy parties.
Gee, that's coming out. Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I mean, I never was a fan of Coldplay, but when they come out, him and old Gwyneth said, "Right, we're not splitting up. We're having a conscious uncoupling,"
which is so American.
I'm like, how about fuck off?
Yeah,
like, what are you hiding, you bastards?
Yeah, 100%.
I reckon Gwyneth found out about him nonsense.
Yeah, for sure. It's just a fucking deviant world, man. It's actually just like you can't have heroes anymore. I've just like resigned myself to just not having like getting involved with celebrities.
I think the last bastion for me, I've said bastion twice on this show. I've never used that word in
it's a good word.
But I think the last one for me, if something real bad comes out, will be Jack Black. And I feel like there's bound to be some shit there.
It depends how bad it is. There's a barometer of how bad, right?
Yeah.
When the Dave Grohl stuff come out, I was just like,
yeah. Well, with the Grohl stuff, it's like, well,
how immoral is that, really?
I think there's lots of people on this planet that have done shit like that and don't lose their jobs over it or have their jobs hanging in the balance because of it. Equally, where that desensitized to like, oh, well, at least it's not kids. He's like, well, he's done something that he probably shouldn't have done.
No.
Like, so that is bad. Bad Dave Grohl.
Naughty
boy.
Naughty.
Yeah. But as a society, we've gone, well, actually, it's not too bad.
On the plethora of things there. I think because we realise, mate, human beings are just kind of grey anyway. Most of us are grey. We all have like morals and we all have our own opinions of like what is a bad thing to do. And when somebody said, have you seen the news about Dave Grohl on my messages, I instantly went to like, oh dear God, it's going to be something real.
He's a rotten raper.
Yeah, exactly that. But it wasn't. So I was like, Jesus. And it's like, you still got like people supporting Red Hot Chili Peppers. When Anthony Kiedis is a real deviant. He spoke about it in his...
That's not surprising either, though, is it? The fact that we get to a point where these things happen and people go, well,
depends how good your music is, mate.
Yeah. But where do you stand then on art and artist? Because I struggle.
It's tough. It's tough, man. Like, I think the most recent one was Dr. Disrespect for me. He was like
I've heard a bit about it. I don't know if...
he was one of my heroes. He's the reason why I started streaming on Twitch, because he's the best streamer, hands down. He plays like this 80s character. For anybody who doesn't know, you're listening to going, what the fuck is that? He plays like this 80s character, streams games, and he's actually quite good at it. He's quite old now. He's like a little bit older than me. So like I could resonate with him a lot. So I was like, oh, he's like a streamer and he could get going when I was dead into streaming. And it came out that he was like texting a minor when he was like 31. Yeah. And you know, he admitted that on Twitter, just like himself. He admitted, he goes, yeah, this person was a minor that I was messaging, but you know, kind of, we all make mistakes. And I'm like, I think when you ask me about my line, I think that's one of them.
Yeah.
So imagine if one of my mates were like, yeah, I was messaging this 14-year-old.
Yeah.
But you know, everyone makes mistakes, right? I would be like, brother,
you should
like,
know.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's like, that's the line for me. Like, I will choose morally. If you cheated on your wife, okay.
It happens.
It happens. It happens. But like, I would be like, don't do that. Clearly, like you had a good thing going on there, and you've absolutely just ruined that. But like, our friendship is not gonna, unless you banged my wife. Yeah. Then that's where. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You have to make it on a decision by decision, like case by case basis.
The thing is with that, like, if it's someone cheating on their wife or like, you know, an affair or something like that, there's a lot more information going on.
Exactly.
About two consenting adults and all that sort of shit. But there's no point where you think, oh, well, I'll give it a go on this 14-year-old.
Yeah.
I'll just test the water.
Yeah.
And I think if anything that you're fucking hiding and don't want people to know about is fucking wrong, innit?
Yeah.
Like if you know that if he just comes out and goes, I'm shagging her, mate. You're like, I mean, arguably a little bit of respect for like fair play, mate. You're owning your deviance, but I mean, it's still wrong. But like if you're hiding it, it's probably wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where my line is, mate. I think immorally, especially when it's kids involved, anything to do with dogs or animals, like cruelty to animals is a line to me.
You see, I find that bizarre as well. Like, because I'm in that gang, but they taste amazing.
Which ones?
Well, my line is between the sheep and the dog.
Sheep and the dog. See now,
so I'll go up to sheep, dog downwards. No.
If I'm in a foreign country, there's certain foreign countries where their culture is they eat certain animals, like a dog. Let's call it a dog, and they put it in front of me, and I'm in their country and their culture, and maybe I'm eating a dog.
Yeah. To be honest,
maybe because I'm English, I don't want to offend them.
I guess really my line is pets, as in my pets.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a fuck about eating somebody else's dog.
Yeah. And you get like fiercely, especially when it's your own pet, you get these like human emotions that you put into pets, right?
Yeah.
Where we got a bully cat that literally bullies our two cats. And I know me and Leanne just will defend our cats to the hilt like with their children. Plus we don't have children, so we're weird like cat mum and dads.
Yeah.
They're our little babies.
I get it, and that sort of shit frustrates me at the same time.
What?
Because I've got kids.
Because this is it.
I've had people before, I've just got kittens. Well, you know what it's like. You know, it's just like having kids. No, I don't leave my kids in a crate for 6 hours while I go to work.
Yeah.
I can't just pop to the shop. Like, I will get in big trouble for that. And you know, if my kid has done something wrong, I can't just go right outside. Go and live outside for a bit. Like,
I'm conscious to
but
that.
I get it for people who don't have kids. Like,
I'm conscious. I'm conscious to that. That's why I don't really. Me and Leanne, and we fully know this and we laugh about it, we make up like bad scenarios in terms of like, how can I explain this? So when the cat's done something naughty, we make it like bigger than it is, more grandiose.
Right, yeah.
So we're like, oh my God, she pooed in a litter tray and it stinks. And she just won't shut up, me.
Grounded.
Yeah. And we make it bigger than what it is because we don't have children.
Yeah.
And we laugh about it.
That's fine. Like,
we laugh about it. Look at it. Yeah. But then we sit there and we think, because literally the other day I was watching Deadpool and our cat wouldn't stop meowing and wanting attention. Yeah. And we paused it and we made it like, it's like a little bit that we do. Yeah. It's like, oh, look at this, look. We can't watch anything. Yeah. What are you doing, Bosie? Shut up, like, we can't. Yeah. And then I turned to her, I just laughed, and I was like, we're just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because what if we had a child
I do shit like that. We've got dogs, and we do that. Like, you know, like Maggie, I've got a German Shepherd, Maggie, she'll jump up on the bed and she's like well jealous. Like, she's like my dog, if you know what I mean. And she's always like, ooh, and I'm like, what's the matter? You miss daddy and all this, that, and the other. Like, I call them like my kids.
Yeah.
I think the only frustration I have is when people are like, you know what it's like, you got kids, haven't you?
Don't do that shit.
No.
There's a lie.
Do you ever do any hypotheticals of who gets the cats if you break up?
Yeah, we split them up.
Like ridiculously hypothetical, like to the point where you're nearly rowing.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, I take the boy cat because he's my favourite. I know you're not meant to have favourites, but...
Well, you split them up?
Oh, yeah, shit, you've done that to me now. Crap, you are right. The brother and sister. But they're not bothered anyway about each other.
Yeah, but it's the hardship of their mum and dad breaking up.
I want Monts, though. Yeah. I want the boy.
Yeah.
I'll probably take them both because Bosie, the girl cat, is just weird. She proper just stares at walls. You don't know what mood she's in. You're like, what the fuck? Again, making hypothetical problems out. Like, oh, you're the weird one. You're giving us such a headache when they're not really.
No.
They're just a minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
Whereas we're just like, it's really weird for me because I've never really wanted kids. Like, if I had one and it was just to happen by accident, Leanne would be the woman I'd want it with because we make a good team.
Oh, mate.
For sure. I say that to her.
Yeah.
So, but both of us, we do, because we have had that conversation, like, should we, shouldn't we kind of thing. We both just, we can't pull that trigger. And I can't look after myself yet, let alone a child.
Well, I still don't want kids.
But
I've got two.
You got two.
I love my kids. I don't want any more kids. My son, he was a choice. We had a discussion.
Yeah.
But if you're unsure, my advice is drink some rum and see what happens.
I'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So that's the only reason my daughter's here, really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it for the fucking world.
I think
we kind of knew what we was doing, but we had to mature with having children to be able to make a decision about having children. So we was like, we always kind of want kids and whatnot, and we just rolled the dice. And
see, my thing is like, yeah, I swayed on this. I used to be never want kids in terms of like, I don't know, it's such a big decision, and it is, but there's also the argument of like, you're never ready.
No.
So like,
some people take that far too extreme.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're never ready. So I met her on Tinder.
We have
and I just fucking slung one up her, and now I live with her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not good. But
there is a balance. It's weird, yeah. But then again, I think about later on in life when I've got my shit together. I'm only figuring out myself now, like the past 5 years.
Yeah,
really, like leaving my job, doing my own thing, as you probably well know. Yeah. And then I'm just a completely different person from what I was 5 years ago.
That's what I did because I had the children.
Yeah, that might even change me even more.
Because I had the kids. I was kind of like I was barreling down a road of like, this is going to be my life for the rest of my life. Like, go work on a building site and fucking at the weekend, sink some beers and same old shit every week. And it was because of having the kids. I'm like, I need to set an example now and like, what am I? Who am I? And all that sort of existential. I'm a kind of proactive bloke with that shit. I think rather than like a lot of people go, oh yeah, freeze up.
It's one of those, man. I think it does change you, and you don't know how it's going to change you.
No,
I'd like to think it'll change for the better.
I think my honest advice. I know this is supposed to be a comedy podcast, but like,
no, it's anything goes. Honestly,
my honest advice is if you as a couple could deal with any obstacle, if you're tight,
we have so far,
and you're toying with it. I'm not saying go and have kids or don't have kids or anything like that, but that's the important bit. So whatever, when that comes along, or if that come along, you'll be able to deal with it.
Liam, we're having babies. We should watch this. What the hell? No, it's I don't know, man. I just think of that because I think of adoption later on.
Because my missus wants to do fostering.
Foster would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like dipping your toe in.
Yeah.
A little bit. Have you seen that Bill Burr joke about the instant eights?
No.
I just love it. Because another thing is, well, I relate to Bill Burr a lot on this, where he...
Shout out Bill Burr.
Shout out Bill Burr if people don't know. Yeah, imagine if you watch this, I'll be crazy. He's like a big stand-up comedian. He doesn't have kids. I don't think he still has kids now. He might,
doesn't he?
He might have one. Yeah, he could do. But when he didn't, he was like... people around there who have got kids talking about the kids all the time when you don't, and you can't relate to them, and you're like, fucking hell. And they go about, the terrible twos, when they're first born, this, that, and the other, and you just can't relate, but they want to tell you like, wait till, and when you have a kid, they're the first ones to go, wait till you get to the terrible twos. Like they just bombard you.
Do you know what, right? I had that. It was a trap for us, generally speaking, but that's where you got to go. You get people to join your misery a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, it's not a misery. It's really fucking hard to explain. But one thing that fucking pisses me off, and it's a message for everybody at home, stop saying that you hate your kids. Like, people are like, oh, fucking old dickheads. I'm like, you've created it, you idiot. You're in charge of that.
Amen.
If your kid's knobhead, it's because you're a knobhead.
True that.
Like the amount of people that can't fucking sort him out. He's fucked.
That's it. He's done.
Like, you've been in charge of that.
Yeah,
that's you.
Yeah. He's literally your makeup. But Bill Burr's thing is, he just wants to. When he didn't have children, he was like, I want to adopt now just to spite these people. So I go, you don't even know. Wait until you get the instant eights.
Yeah.
And and he goes, then I'll tell them how much they don't know about adopting. I was like, that was such a funny spin. And he was talking about it like, you'd have to look at Bill Burr, I don't know, adoption.
He's always fucking straight-laced for shit.
Just
I love it.
on the
They always
nose.
like ask him about like female rights, and so he's like, I'm not a female, fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't, like, there's no, why are you asking
This
me?
is just a
Other than
non-question.
to try and either slip me up and get me in trouble, or
Got
to,
you kind of thing.
yeah, or to like make me say something really profound and be like, I'm in this camp. He's just like, if women want to go to work, go to fucking work.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with him on that.
He's like, I've not got a dog in this fight.
He talks about adopting a kid like it's buying a car.
Yeah.
A used model, and, and if you like adopt,
Not a
if you adopt
part-worn kid.
if you adopt a third world country kid, then any life that you give it is going to be instantly better. He's like, look, you've got a couch, you've got a couch, and they're like, oh my god,
You
like,
have shoes.
You have shoes, and it's just like he talks about it in that fashion. Like, yeah, you just look around. I'm thinking of getting an 08, 09 model, this that, and the other, and the whole bit is just one of the like as a comedian lover, that's just one of the well crafted bits. I was just like, me and Leanne just cry with laughter at it. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'll adopt later, depending on how well this podcast goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had tons of money, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because I'm set. Like, that's
It
just...
costs a fucking bomb, mate.
Yeah, exactly. But whenever you have money, like, money doesn't buy you happiness, it buys you freedom. And then it's just to leave. I know when I work for myself and I get like an influx of cash, I know I've had that little bit of like respite of like, oh, I've got money.
Yeah.
So then all my other problems just dissipate.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like, okay, I'm here now. There's a level that I'm safe. I'm secure for the next.
X amount of time.
Exactly, X amount of time. Now imagine, I say this all the time as well, I'm terrible with money. So like, I've just been innately terrible with money. I'm turning the corner slowly, but it's like, I just don't think about the future whatsoever. And I just like either spend it or, find a way to spend it. It's ridiculous. So like I'm curbing that slowly now, and Leanne's helped with that, bless her. But like, yeah, just having that little bit of income, and people, they'll probably listen to this going, yeah, fucking, I'll relate to that, whatever. Especially with today's climate where everything's just going up.
Too easy, and there's too much credit, man. I've just bought a new gaming chair, added it to Very. I could have just saved up £2 to buy it.
Yeah.
But I could fuck waiting.
No, you got to have it now.
Have it now and put interest on it. Like, I could just pay £100 in a couple of weeks for it. Get it now, and then it'll be £700 that you owe in 6 months.
It's fine, dude. Don't worry about it. You'll pay it later. It's all good. And I used to do that all the time. Whereas my dad instilled into me, like, just buy it when you've got the money, like, and if you're good. Whereas my mum's completely the opposite. My God, my mum, I get it from my mum because my dad made a couple of credit cards. Yeah, impulsive. My dad's like proper good with money.
Do you find that? I mean, I don't know what your sort of like life was when growing up. Do you feel like I'm in that category where we didn't have fuck all, but we didn't have a lot, if you know what I mean? Like you like your parents
We're
are
from the same circles, man. Yeah, so
like working class, sort of.
Yep.
And I think when you get older, our generation, when you get to a point where you're like, oh, I've got my own money now. And you realise that these rules of like you can only have a takeaway here, or there's certain criteria you have to hit before you can have things, and then you get to be an adult and you go, I could just do it whenever. Like, of all people, it's not surprising, but Sharpie put me onto one thing about how it doesn't have to be your birthday to buy a birthday cake, and nobody checks.
Yeah, nobody comes in. You can't have that. Yeah,
He come up to me and goes, I found something out today. And I was like, what's that? He's like, I just went and bought a birthday cake because I wanted some birthday cake. Nobody checked whose birthday it was. And
that's a great stand-up bit if you could craft that.
And he's like, I didn't get ID'd. He didn't ask whose birthday it was for.
That's
I just
true.
went back home and I ate a full birthday cake.
Don't put that in my head now.
But that's the way of the world. Like, because I don't know if you have it. You know, when people, you go, oh, we're getting Chinese for tea. Do you want Chinese? Oh, I had Chinese last night. Right?
What are the rules?
But it doesn't matter. But also, what's even crazier is these people say that and they've had the same breakfast for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But if it's tea time, can't double up that. But you can eat the same fucking cereal every morning.
I have cereal at night. I flip it.
Yeah, it feels naughty, doesn't it?
Dude, I flip cereal at night.
And also, you're getting ahead of it. Ahead of the curve. You're like, because when I get in the morning, I've already had my breakfast.
The thing is as well...
Beat the system.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck the system. The thing is as well, like school doesn't teach you this. School doesn't teach you how to save, credit, mortgages. They don't teach you any of that. They come in with a person that... I remember this at like when I was in secondary school. Some NatWest person coming in, you're all getting cards. And I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, oh, wicked, I guess. And they set you up with cards. And now I'm thinking that's like proper predatory. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They come in, it's just like...
The trouble is with school, it's...
They don't teach you how to manage it. They're just like, have this card.
The thing is, like, my missus is a teacher, and she... So I kind of see both sides of the coin now. A lot of people, like for us, we're at an age where we was last at school like 16 years ago, 17 years ago. And you go, this is how school is. And you have an image of how school is. So I think it's changed a lot. But equally, I think generally what they do is they do give you the skills and the knowledge and whatever, like the details of like how to live your life, but they don't teach you how to apply it. Because the amount of people that say to me, "Oh, I've never used algebra," and I'm like, "You have. You do algebra.
You just don't know yet.
Yeah, that's it. You just don't know you're doing it." And there's all the different things that are there, and that's where it's been set up for this sort of. It's just more of the academic system generally seems to be more of a like going into corporate world.
100%.
And then anybody who's out of that one size fits all model gets left behind, or
I feel like people.
out,
I read a lot of people though where they just leave school and they become entrepreneurs. They're like the. But
I think for every story of that, there's a lot of people that
I would have made it, dude.
Jacking up under a bridge. do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, you hear them stories because they've made it, but there's not many interviews with a fucking old, Boris who's under a bridge on H.
On H. I've never heard it called H before. That's sick.
Yeah.
Jesus. No, I've not. I'm trying to think of what I applied. Did you go to the same school as me?
No, I don't think so.
Did we not? Where did you go?
I went to, I travelled about a bit. I'm a bit of a... so I went to St Mary's with Jimmy.
Oh, right, yeah.
Till year 5.
Yeah.
And then I went to St Chad's, in which I still haven't heard about it since, but St Chad was a thing.
Giles.
I moved to Lincoln. My parents split up when I was younger.
Right.
My mum come back to Lincoln. So I did the last year St Chad's Primary. Then I went to Will Farr, in just outside of Lincoln. And then I moved back to Boston because my mum was like, "You're not at school no more. I hate you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Go live with your dad. He's a prick and all."
Got it. Right. No, I was just thinking about, do you remember like any teachers that were like good?
Yes.
How many?
I've got stories of, how many?
I can only count one.
I don't know. I had a handful that got me and was like, sound. I had a college tutor as well in Boston, but I equally had some that just did not get me. So I was one of them that I never did any. This sounds like a brag, but it's like I never did any revision, never did fuck all like writing down or anything. No. I used to draw, which is obviously how I'm where I am now, doing tattooing and stuff. But like I used to draw and doodle mindlessly, and teachers generally thought I was switching off. But what I did this weird fucking Sherlock Holmes bullshit. Of like, when I'm in exams, I would link what was being talked about and learning about to what I'd drawn.
That's sick. And you learn that quite early.
Yeah. And some teachers, like I say, would just be like, he's cool. Don't worry about it. He's doing his own thing. Fine. Yeah. And others were like, why did you on this one? I never fit into the system.
No.
I never fit into this is what you do then, and this is the routine. Late every day. Didn't give a fuck.
No, same here. Late every day. Yeah, couldn't. I feel like I'm only learning those skills the way I work now. Like honestly, like I said about like past 5 years, when you said about like you draw and then you pick things up, I'm only learning how to do stuff like that within the past 5 years. Like lists really help for me. I know they don't necessarily help for you because you add things to the list.
Yeah,
don't you?
No, but I find with that, it makes you feel productive and recognises that you're productive. So you do a list, it's turned into a self-help though, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
You do a list and add something to that list that's even the smallest fucking thing.
I put eat food.
Yeah. Like, and
Legit.
My policy is, because I do loads of lists, I'm well bad for lists, but add something to the list you've already done before you've made that list.
Oh, I've not done this.
So as soon as you do the list, you have something to tick off.
Yeah.
Even if that thing is right list.
And it gives you that little dopamine.
And you're like, that's 1 out of 10 things done.
Yeah.
9 more to go.
Yeah.
And it kind of tricks you into going.
For me, it gamifies it.
Yeah.
Like yesterday,
challenge.
I was neglecting my life duties because I'm a horrible gaming addict. And
Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I was stressing out because I'm like, I've got so much stuff to do. And I just knew, I was like, right, write a list down and then just tick it off one by one. Even though I didn't want to write the list, I'm like, you don't want to do this because it sounds like it's not going to work. But for me, it does. For me, it actually does. Like, you write them down, you tick them off one by one, and I say to myself, I can't do anything until this list is done.
Yeah. Put them on the floor, mate, if you want.
Oh, well, absolutely. Yeah, I can do. Yeah, I'm sat there like, absolutely. But yeah, no, this has turned into a self-help kind of...
Is what it is.
This is what I said at the start. Just like, have we got any kind of like stuff to talk about? I was like, the US election is the big thing.
Yeah.
By the way, I was going to say, did you see Trump's like speech as well? He's like,
he still didn't know what he was doing.
Mate, he riffs it. This is what I mean. I get him now.
Yeah.
Like, this is what he does. Like, at least he turned the teleprompter off. He was like, I don't want to do. I'm just gonna, and he just talks absolute bollocks.
I must hand it to him. The fact that he was president for 4 years. Then wasn't, and he's come back and his catchphrase is the same of like, let's make America great again. And he's like, you had a go for 4 years at doing that and you didn't. And so what you're saying is you made it great, and then as soon as somebody else came in for 4 years, it just went to shit again.
He should be a comedian, man, because
on the plus side, Bitcoin, mate.
Oh, you know,
Elon's working his magic literally like 2 days has it been.
I need to check my Bitcoin then.
It's like 10x, bro, or whatever they call it. I've dabbled with it, but
with his speech, he got like Dana White for whatever reason to say like a 30-second speech. He goes, he's just riffing.
What, a UFC bloke?
Exactly that.
Why? Why him?
Why is he there?
But why not?
I remember watching it, going like, "What timeline are we living in?" And then Dana White jumps on the mic and just starts shouting like, "Big up the Nelk boys," and I'm like. This is the presidential speech, and he's saying big up the Nelk boys, which for the uninitiated, like idiots, the Nelk boys are actual just, I'm sorry, idiots. Like they just don't have anything going on in their brains. Where
do they rank on the scale against Island boys?
Oh, Island boys. Yeah, to be fair, the Island boys are. Where did they go?
This is what I'm talking about.
This is what I'm talking about. Flash in the pan.
Probably.
Yeah, they were so hostile. And really gay.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they kissed each other on the lips and that, being brothers. A bit weird. So I was like, okay, I'm a modern day hippie. I'm all out for that. But whatever, like just a bit odd. And then you say that was a bit weird. They go, that wasn't weird, man. You're weird, and you're like, okay, dude. I just don't know what normal is anymore.
We've gone on a real tangent there, but they kicked off on the. Was it the old Paul bloke? What's his name?
Oh, bloody hell. Which one? Logan or Jake?
One of them, one of their podcasts.
No, my issue is, right, I like just life in general. I look at everything. Like, if you're interested in it, I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
And that's why I can never pull out factual information about stuff. I just know a lot about nothing.
Yeah,
so
I feel you.
I would just I like watching life just happen, so I'll zoom out. I know the Nelk boys are, even though I don't watch them. I know the Logan Paul and Jake Paul are, even though I don't really watch them. I know of them, and then I've got a few very certain interests, like gaming's always going to be that one. Mm-hmm. So like, whenever I talk about this stuff, they're like, who the fuck's that? So that's why I hope people like Google this when they're like looking and stuff like that, or even if they care. But I just love life in general. Like, I'm a bit of a modern day hippie where I'm like, live and let live. And what really made me sad.
Have you got the live, laugh, love?
No, absolutely not. We're not doing that. I'm not that far. That's not hippie, man. That's something else. That's
Home Sense special, isn't it?
Oh, my mum, dude, like, it seems to be parents, they have like sayings all over the house. I could record
I think I had my mum does the same, but I did something on our podcast where I was like, I really hate and take it personally signs in that tell me what to do. So like, I hate, when they have like bathe in the bathroom, it's like a wooden block that says bathe. And I'm like,
just
fuck off,
emotionally.
man. Like, I'm going to do that, but not now you've told me, you dickhead piece of wood.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. You don't have in the living room, sit down.
You don't control me.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know why. I just take it really personal.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'll do what I want in this bathroom.
That's your punk coming out. John,
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've been in the band with Baggy for a while. It's like we do dad punk now. So it's like, fuck the system enough, but also it's worthwhile investing in a pension. Like,
You do, as you get older, man, it's a weird, from what I've seen of life, because, I'm a specialist in that department when I look at everything. I feel as if, as you get older, you do naturally go more right wing. Weirdly, a little bit. You start to go
more conservative, and I think, and more
you are like fuck the system when you're young.
Yeah, but also you spend like me. I was, you know me when I was fucking Mohawk and cartoon punk almost.
God, you did have a Mohawk, didn't you?
I had loads of different. That's why it's all falling out now. But like with that, I think you just spend so many years of like fighting against the whatever thing that's happening.
See, Leanne's very punk.
Yeah.
So she used to be. She used to be the same, like the circles that you were in. She'll probably as well. So I always rode that line. I was a skater, like goth, kind of that middle ground of where back in the day wearing corn hoodies and baggy jeans.
Yeah. Well, you had to be in a camp then.
You did.
I mean, I'm here now in Adidas trackies, and I would not have been seen dead in them because it's like it was like you're a fucking chav, mate.
Corn
like,
changed that.
Yeah, that became a thing.
Corn.
Yeah, Jonathan Davis.
Jonathan Davis, and I liked their style. Yeah. And they were sponsored by Adidas, weren't they? Pretty much. I think they actually got the sponsor late, but they were like trendy stuff. That's something just to be quite niche here. I love bands, and I did do when I was growing up, where they were heavy metal, but they were skinheads as well, and they wore like Adidas tops and that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I remember there was a band in Boston that used to do that. And I used
was it Boston Knife Attack?
I don't know. There was a guy called, I don't want to say his name on the podcast. I can't be asked to fucking beep it as well and go through this because I've got to get this out tonight.
Yeah.
But there was a guy I used to know, he was a bass player, and he used to be in a band. And one of the lads from where we used to live in Boston, which is known as, back in the day, quite a chavvy, hard place. And this main guy was a big Boston name, and he had a skinhead, but he also screamed like a goth. So that really...
Right. I think that because there was Boston Knife Attack that were.
He was ripped as well.
Yeah,
he took his top off. He had tattoos, skinhead.
Yeah.
But he was singing death metal, and I remember looking at that, going, "Oh, that's changed my view on what metal is and what like hardcore is."
I think that's cool now. Like people like Post Malone's done it.
There's that really famous.
It used to matter, didn't it? Like what music you listen to.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't, and I'm so grateful. But also, there's a part of me that's like, what are you doing? You're wearing fucking Converse, mate, and you're like a trendy. Like, so what are you doing?
I kind of like that. That's kind of rebel in itself, isn't it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I love it. But I'm also like, no, that's our thing. Fuck off, man. Like,
I was never that like diehard on either side. I've been called through my life like a fence sitter all the time. Like throughout my life, I've had friends like, "Oh, you're just taking their side away." I was like, "I'm here not to take sides, really." But
I wish had been more like that. I'm more like that now. But I had a lot of years of
I got out of a lot of fights that way.
Yeah.
Because there was always like fights or scraps and stuff like that. And I could always talk myself out of fights in Boston. I've had a few scraps. Nothing like, "Oh, I beat him up, mate." I've got beaten up quite a few times, to be fair. Especially down the side of the axe.
Yeah.
There was a foreign man that beat me up once, and I kicked him on the bollocks and ran away around the side of the axe. I managed to get him. He went to the floor, and then I slapped his face or whatever, and I went,
"Stop it, you!"
I think I said something embarrassing, like "Go away!" in my panic, and I ran off, and I ran in the axe and cleaver at the time. I was like, "There's a guy there who's beating me up," but I just hate fighting in general.
Yeah,
I like being close to it though.
Yeah, like having a look.
Oh yeah.
I've been like, what's going on?
Fucking scrap over. If you ask me to fight someone, like, "Hey, no, I'm all right."
I mean, it sounds like a dick swinging thing, but like, I've been in quite a few fights when I was younger. I hate it. I hate the feeling
horrible,
of it,
man. I'm loving it.
It's only if I'm fucking backed into it or my buttons have been completely pushed.
Have you ever like started it because your buttons have been pushed so much?
Yeah. There's been times, I think it's just from that, I used to go to the football quite a lot when I was younger, and I think it's just that hooligan sort of like, yeah, dude. And like there's been times, usually when I've had a drink,
another thing,
yeah, and it's like just someone being a bit of a dickhead, and if I've had a bit of a bad week or anything like that, and it's been like, I'm in the mood.
At least you're self-aware to admit that.
Yeah, it's not, I don't like it.
No.
And 9 times out of 10, I'm in the mood just to be a bit of a dickhead, and not actually get beat up or be in a fight. I just want to kind of puff my chest out.
No, when I've had a few drinks, I don't get obnoxious or anything. I just get silly.
Yeah, generally that's me.
Silly, yeah. I'm glad I'm a silly drunk, because we spoke about this before, but like there are those people who drink and they just can't do it. You see it behind their eyes where they start to almost glaze over and they look through you, and you know that you're like, oh my God, you turn into a complete different person when you drink. Like this is a different side, and it can get a bit weird, but like luckily, touch wood, man, I've not been like that on drunk.
Mine's been more in a defensive, I want to fight, but I could probably count on one hand.
Again, I can't be around the crowd as well. Like mob mentality might take me away.
Yeah,
it might sweep me across.
There was one time we had a real fucking good brawl with there was myself, and it was when I was on the site as well, so it's all laddie. And so I'm like, I've got something to prove then. Do you know what I mean? Because I was never really into that.
Around builders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that was all on the works Christmas do, and then someone kicked off, and it was like a movie thing of like, it was in the street with about like 20, 30 people, and there was all like fucking tussling. I don't think anyone actually really properly threw a punch. It was all just like a mob of like shoving and like, and all this, that, and the other. The police came and everything. It was great, and I was like, I'm a bloke now. I'm a bloke. But
mate, builders are a wild breed. I had a carpenter come to my house once, and I'm pretty sure he was on coke. Pretty sure.
I always, because obviously I always go, you know what, mate? Like, because I'm just like an effeminate goth tattooist to them. I'm like, oh, now that I'm like, used to be Sparky, so I know how it works. Tradies.
You're trying to connect with them.
Look at the biceps. Look at the biceps.
You put on a show for them.
Yeah.
No, builders are a wild breed. I knew one builder person. He was a wild man. Just a wild man. Offered me coke around the back of we was eating dinner. Yeah. And he said, come outside. We went around back of the bins of the restaurant and offered me, do you want a bit of gear? Like, I'm like, we're at a family meal. What are you talking about? He goes, nah, we'll just bump it. And I was like, what? I'm not going to eat after this if we do that. And he was a wild man. And then like it's 20 minutes later, he just had his top off in the restaurant with my fiance's dad. And I'm sat there like, in my head, I'm laughing my head off going, this is crazy. Looking across at Leanne, and she's like, what is going on? And he's going, Tottenham. We're the only person in the restaurant. And like,
this has got the team right. Yeah, you do.
And Leanne's like, Dad is very, very conservative, very just like proper, just getting madder and madder. And I'm sat there going, this is insane. Yeah. He's a wild man. And God bless that man. Jesus, I won't say his name, but yeah, you know you are. Jesus, he was a wild boy. Not in my life anymore, but Jesus, whenever I was around, you just don't know what's going to happen around him. He's one of those people where you just don't know if he's going to have a good day, a bad day, really lovable some days. The other days he's just pissed off. And he's one of those, if you left him, or like you planned a night with him or whatever, you say, I've got to get off. He gets really, he's like, you can't leave me here, lad. You got to stay, and you're like, oh, shit, I have to stay with him.
Yeah, I've got to watch you.
Oh my God, he's gonna pop off. Jesus. But mate, I think we've done an hour. Jesus, that's actually flown by. My word.
Did I do well? What did I get out? What was my grade?
An A+, mate.
A+.
I feel
like my penis.
Mate, there was no... Yeah, exactly. A+, like
go
your
back
penis.
and watch the last episode.
Oh, yeah. Shout out your podcast.
Oh, yeah, Utopia Project Pod.
I didn't even say
social
that.
medias. It's all right. They'll know from last week.
Oh, yeah. Because
I'm here all the time now.
We're pretty much a different podcast now, guys.
Yeah,
it's
we're a self-help.
Yeah, we're a self-help podcast. We'll do these specials every week. Nah, we won't.
No, you don't want me every week.
Yeah. Bless you. No, I think we do, but we'll have to do this again sometime, Chung. And if you're still listening to this, Jim, Godspeed, bless you. It'd be good to have you back next week because we've got a guest coming on next week. I don't want to reveal it in case it falls through, but I think we're still going for it. But yeah, we're resuming as normal next week, guys. We do have a guest, but then after that, because I don't know if the people we have
it's
had
me again.
We've had. I don't know whether people are like, oh, can we just have you two again? I have no idea, but like, let us know. Jim gets all the messages. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll just.
If you're fed up with me, it's fine. I am too.
Jesus, no, bless you. Anyway, thank you very much for having me, Chunk. I appreciate it. And
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm going to sign off. God bless. Circle back next week. Wave them out, Chunk. Bye.